I'm Adriel Hepburn, and this is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Coming up in the news, plans for Global Youth and Children's Day revealed, GEMS empower each other for greater service, and ASI holds special service in North Bahamas. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Thanks for joining us for your Adventist News. Global Youth and Children's Day is set for March 16th, and the churches within South Bahamas Conference are excited about their plans to impact their communities. Pastor Jamal Franklin, Youth Director, spoke about the significance of this event and some of the activities planned.
Global Youth Day is really a global initiative, as it says, from the World Church of Seventh Adventists to position the youth of the church into the activities of the community as a global movement of missionaries involved in service to the community as a way of life. So this year, Global Youth Day is taking on a different twist to involve more of our children, and this year it is going to be called Global Youth and Children's Day. And a number of the activities that will be taking place is where the youth and children will be adopting projects of acts of kindness in the communities, not only on Global Youth and Children's Day, but throughout the entire year.
Laverne Stirrup, Children's Ministries Director for the South Bahamas Conference, commented on the benefits of involving the children in the ministry and service.
We're so happy to be involved in this Global Youth and Children's Day, and we're hoping that the benefits for our children will be numerous. First of all, they will be able to put their growing faith into action. They'll be able to develop compassion and empathy for others, and they will be empowered to serve their country. And also, in doing so, they will recognize that Christ has called all of us into a lifestyle of service.
This year, the Publishing Department will also play a very important role in the day's events.
The Publishing Department under Pastor Nikita Thompson is also partnering with us for Global Youth and Children's Day to distribute 1,000 books for the family, which is the book of the year that the Adventist Church is distributing. And that book of the family is to help family integral development and to promote literacy in families. And we plan to distribute at least 1,000 of those books in the community to promote family wholeness.
Pastor Kenny DeVoe, President of the South Bahamas Conference, told of the impact of this initiative around the world.
Global Youth Day is an international day when our young people all over the world will be out in the community doing things that will assist the community through acts of kindness. And we are looking forward to having 8 million young people throughout the world just being the hands and feet of Jesus and doing some act of kindness.
The annual march will take place next Saturday after the day's activities, followed by a youth rally.
The march begins at the Old Bahamas Academy site on Wolf Road, heading west onto Wolf Road, south onto Palm Beach Street, west onto Balfour Avenue, across East Street onto Balfour Avenue West, heading north to Katy Josie Avenue, west onto Ponciana Avenue, south onto Market Street, west onto Coconut Grove Avenue, onto Blue Hill Road North, ending at the Edmund Moxie Park, where we will have our grand rally, where we'll have singing, testimonies, and we pray that God will draw each and every one of us closer, as well as the constituents that will come out and support the program. And we pray that God will truly be lifted up as a result of our efforts.
Be sure to join the Seventh-day Adventist Church on March 16th for the Global Youth and Children's Day, as they do what they can to positively impact our Bahamas. Girls Empowered for Ministry and Service, also known as GEMS, continues to contribute to the mission of the South Bahamas. Last week, 2 young ladies at a GEMS relaunch event of the Women's Ministries Department of our conference demonstrated how they develop practical ways to share their faith. Evan Musgrove, a member of the Centerville Church, is a YouTuber who used the platform to speak positively to her peers by sharing tips.
The very first thing I did in making God a priority was realizing my need for Him, because Lord knows, Jesus knows that I am so weak. The weakest link. You cannot want to spend time with God if you don't even realize that you need Him. If you're like you're good, you're great, you're living life to your fullest, it's all about you, YOLO, Gucci. No, like, you need to realize that you need God.
Malia Neely, a member of the Ephesus Adventist Church, is the founder and president of an organization called Uniforms for All. Malia told us about the ministry and what prompted her to establish it.
Well, the Uniforms for All program is something that I am the founding president of. It is basically a uniform recycling project in which we ask the public to donate their old uniforms that are still clean and in good condition, and we give them to people who really needed them. So it was like a two-stage initiative with the distribution and then the donation. Well, I thought that it's just it's a need in this country. Everyone needs uniform, whether you go to a private or public school. And also, my grandmother was a custodian at Bahamas Academy, and she had a little room where she would keep uniforms and give to students. So I really wanted to help others while continuing her legacy.
Evan is a student at Andrews University in Berrien Springs, Michigan, and Malia is an outstanding 12th grade student of Queens College who has been recently awarded for her many academic achievements. These young ladies are making a difference through personal outreach ministries. GEMS, or Girls Empowered for Ministry and Service, is a sector of the Women's Ministries Department of our conference and has among its many programs provided opportunities for the young ladies to volunteer host events at the Children's Emergency Hostel and the Elizabeth Estates Children's Home. Recently, a team from the Adventist Layman's Services and Industries ASI South Bahamas chapter traveled to Grand Bahama. The team included Elder Ian Green, president of the ASI for the Atlantic Caribbean Union and South Bahamas Conference chapters, Elder David Williams and Victoria Forbes, vice president and treasurer for ASI South Bahamas respectively. During the trip, Pastor Eric Clark, president of the North Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, accompanied the entourage to several churches where ASI activities were promoted, and a reception was held to climax the weekend by the ASI president for North Bahamas Conference, Leslie Gillen. ASI convention for the year 2019 will be held at Atlantis Resort, Paradise Island, August 21st through 24th. After this short break, we'll have the upcoming events in the South Bahamas Conference.
Under the theme, I Choose to Live Healthy, the annual 8 Weeks to Wellness program, initiated by the Health Ministries Department of our conference, will take place at the H.D. Colburn Gymnatorium on Wolf Road. Registration is only $50, and the program begins February 25th at 6 p.m. and will continue until April 29th, 2019. Learn about cancer prevention, nutrition, mental and emotional balance. Receive instruction on how to prevent, control, or reverse non-communicable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol, stroke, and respiratory diseases. This is a good way to look out for your health. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Call 341-4021 or 323-0610. Registration for 8 Weeks to Wellness continues on Monday, March 4th at 4 p.m. On Sabbath, March 16th, 2019, Global Youth and Children's Day will transform our nation through acts of kindness. This year, the Youth Department collaborates with the Charm Department to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Children and youth will impact hospitals, clinics, children's homes, prisons, and communities in royal blue shirts to symbolize solidarity in community mission outreach. During the afternoon, the Youth and Charm Departments, together with the Publishing Department, will impact the inner city of Nassau with a march starting at 3:30 to distribute 1,000 books for the Year of the Family. Global Youth and Children's Day climaxes with a rally at the Edmund Moxie Park to share testimonies and to launch the Youth Week of Prayer beginning March 17th through the 23rd, 2019 in the local churches. So join us as we transform our nation.
Welcome back, and thanks for watching our Adventist News. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Hundreds of people are singing, praying, and participating in powerful worship experiences as Convention for Churches on the Family Islands began this evening at 7 p.m. Conference administrators, departmental directors, pastors assigned to the Family Island districts, and descendants from many of these islands have been waiting with anticipation for this time of spiritual renewal. Convention is also a time when church officers and members receive training through workshops and seminars, and they receive materials designed to help them advance the work of God. Members in Nassau are asked to pray for our brothers and sisters on the Family Islands, and we encourage you to visit whenever you are able to do so. At Bahamas Academy, the month of March will mark the launch of their anti-bullying campaign. A special chapel will be held on Wednesday, March 27th at 9 a.m., and the climax will be a color run on Sunday, March 31st at 6:30 a.m., leaving from the school grounds on Marshall Road to the Golden Gate Shopping Center and returning to the school grounds. The public is invited to register for the color run and support all events. On Sunday, March 31st, the men's ministries of our conference are inviting all men of our conference to a breakfast and meet and greet at the South Bahamas Conference campgrounds at 8 a.m. It will be a time of fellowship, and plans for the year will be discussed. The Adventist men will be hosting a concert in aid of the medical fund of one of its members, Brother Samuel Marklin, on March 31st at the Hillview Adventist Church on Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. The concert is free, but you are asked to bring a special love offering. Your support for this venture will be greatly appreciated. For more information on these events and more, visit the conference website at southbahamasconference.org, where you can view the news as well as other programming, view the weekly logos, or feel free to call our headquarters at 242-341-4021.
Breastfeeding, also referred to as nursing, is the feeding of babies and young children with the milk from the mother's breast. This is said to be the best milk for the child because it is full of nutrients and is the perfect mix of proteins, vitamins, and fats, all these of which your baby needs to grow. Webb MD states that breast milk in most cases is more digestible than infant formula. The antibiotics found in breast milk help babies to fight off viruses and bacteria, and also a baby's risk of asthma and allergies are lower. When a baby is breastfed exclusively for 6 months without formula, they have fewer ear infections and respiratory issues. When it comes to breastfeeding, the close skin-to-skin touch and the eye contact will help your baby bond better with the mother, making them feel more secure. Breastfeeding not only benefits the baby, but it benefits the mother. It helps her to burn extra calories to aid in faster burning of pregnancy weight. The hormone oxytocin is released, allowing the uterus to return to its normal pre-pregnancy size, and her risk of breast and ovarian cancer are lowered. With breastfeeding, there is no more buying and measuring of formula and no more sterilizing of bottle nipples. For mothers who may be taking prescription drugs, it is advised that you ask your doctor before breastfeeding. Having the cold or flu does not prevent you from breastfeeding. Milk does not contain the virus, and breast milk actually helps the baby fight off illnesses. Cons associated with breastfeeding are: breastfeeding causes sore nipples. To prevent this, make sure your baby latches on properly and use one finger to break the suction of your baby's mouth. Some mothers worry that they are not producing enough milk, but a baby who is wetting 6 to 8 diapers a day is most likely getting enough milk. Also, the thought that the bigger your breasts, the more milk you produce is false. Some small breast women can produce just as much milk as big breast women. And lastly, breast engorgement happens when the breast is filled with milk. This is completely natural and healthy, but can cause hard, painful, swollen breasts. To get relief, simply use ice packs or hot showers, which can help to release milk, whether by hand or breast pump. Breastfeeding is God's magnificent design. Let us live out God's ideal for His children. This has been Parisha Ferguson with your health tip, courtesy of Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network for our news feature from around the world.
Thank you for joining us this week.
First in the news, next Sabbath, March 16th, is Global Youth Day. On this day, the Adventist Church encourages young people all over the world to get involved in their communities and be the sermon.
Global Youth Day will kick off a special week of prayer, which will end with Homecoming Sabbath, a Sabbath where young people are encouraged to bring non-attending members to church.
Director for Youth Ministries for the Seventh-day Adventist World Church, Gary Blanchard, and Associate Director for the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Paco Makwane, sat down with us to talk about Global Youth Day and this year's theme of adoption.
Global Youth Day is a big Sabbath in which you miss out on hearing a sermon to become a sermon. So you become God's hands and feet so that you can be used for acts of kindness to show the love of Jesus and the character of God.
The theme this year is adoption, and I love this theme, Paco. I really love the theme. And Paco, share a little bit about what does it mean to adopt someone?
It just means showing them the love of Jesus and being there for them in ways that they cannot do for themselves. And when you fill that gap, you're basically showing them that, hey, we love, we care, and we just want the best for you.
There's a lot of ways that people can adopt someone else or adopt something or someone. I've heard some people talking about adopting an animal. But you know what we really want to challenge our young people around the world to do is to adopt a fellow human being, someone made in the image of God. And this is very important because when you adopt somebody, it means you're bringing them into your family.
That's it.
And it's a beautiful thing. It can be an elderly person. It could be a leader in the church, your pastor, an elder, a deacon. It could be a homeless person. It could be somebody that's in a nursing home environment, or even who's in a cancer ward or whatever else. It's bringing someone, some person made in the image of God, closer to yourself, closer to your family, kind of like what Jesus does with us, or exactly what Jesus does with us.
And it brings out the beautiful component of ministry being something that we do as a relationship that develops over time so that people get to know who we really are.
Amen.
You know, and begin to see Jesus in us and ultimately come to that point where they say, you know what, I love the God that you worship. I love the God that pushes you to do these acts of kindness, and I want to know more about that God. And here's one thing that we are encouraging our young people this Global Youth Day to do. We have hope for families today. Everybody belongs to a family, and you can give hope to somebody. So we're encouraging young people to order these books at their local ABCs or in their local conferences and buy these books and share them on Global Youth Day. And they must be sure to tell us how many books they have distributed. We want to run for this.
Amen.
That's it for our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. We thank you for sharing your news stories and upcoming events with us, and we encourage you to continue emailing them to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com or by calling our media department at 242-341-4021. For rebroadcast of the Adventist news, please visit the conference website, southbahamasconference.org, or on our Facebook page. On behalf of our production team of Adventist Television Channel 658, thank you for watching this week's broadcast. I'm Adriel Hepburn for the SBC Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.